Hi everyone, we're live. I'm live in multiple places, so I'm so excited to be here. Say hi. Can you hear me and see me okay? I think, yep, I am live on Instagram. I'm also live in my group and a couple of other groups. Hi. As you're coming in, please say hello. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay. Please engage as we go along throughout the live because it's going to be jam-packed full of value. It's probably going to be one of my most valuable lives because this question I get asked a lot, like how do you create a system to land clients on repeat? So that's what we're going to be doing, like what is my system for basically a client acquisition system. I really hate like using jargony terms. Even though we're all entrepreneurs here, if you're watching this, hopefully you are. Hello. Hi, welcome. Let me just make sure we're live. I just realized I need to make sure that the sound is all working and stuff. I'm always so paranoid about that. Okay, we're good. Um, Oh, hey Susie. So I don't like to use super jargony terms, but I might throw out, but I'll explain everything, I promise. Anyway, if you don't know me, I'm Laura. I'm a marketing strategist and agency owner. I help female coaches sell out their offers using fire content without burning out. And here's the thing, content doesn't have to be overwhelming. So I'm going to talk to you today about how your content can actually land you clients on repeat, how you can create this system for landing clients. Hi, Charmaine. So happy to see you here. I think we're live also. And yeah, okay, we're good. We're all good. I just wanted to make sure. I'm going to be dropping some links in on Facebook if you're on Facebook for my freebie. Most likely you already have it if you're in my group. But I am going to be talking about my freebies, so it's important that you have the link if you don't already have it. So, oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. It's probably gonna be my most valuable, like I said, training that I've done. So, okay. Links are popped in the comments. Okay. Um, Again, we're chatting today about how to create a repeatable system to land clients every single month. One that is, oh my gosh, why did my phone go off? Okay, sorry. I thought my phone was on silent. Okay. We're good. So, one that is super simple and doesn't and is reliable. Because honestly, raise your hand, put a me in the comments if you feel that constant grind of like, oh my God, I need to find clients. Like, I don't know, I don't have a system for landing clients on repeat, and you feel overwhelmed by it all the time. You know that feeling I'm talking about, like where you're always like, I have to start from scratch every single month. Like, I don't have a system to keep my pipeline full. I hate saying pipeline, but you know what I mean. You want to, having a system is just, it's going to be so much more simple to like, okay, who's next, and it's kind of like, I don't like thinking of people, they're people, not just like money in your bank account. But in other words, you still need a system to help people, right? You, at the end of the day, you want to help people with your services, and in order to do that, you need to have an effective system to find people that need your help, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step system for getting your client acquisition on autopilot. Okay, I hate client acquisition. I hate that terminology, but it's the best way to put it. Like, how do you get new clients, right? And it's one that you're going to be able to easily repeat every single month. We're going to dive deep into strategy and how your content can really resonate with your ideal people, and how to create content that speaks directly to their pain points and how you can help them, and how to fill your funnel with these leads, right? Okay, so I want to share my iPad, which you're not going to see on Instagram, so apologies. But that's because, yeah, I'm using Ecamm. This might be one of the last times I use Ecamm since Facebook sucks and they're taking away this ability. Anyway, I want to give you the bird's eye view of my little system that we're going to be talking about today. So the first thing you need is a freebie or lead magnet. Can you see this? Okay, good. Sometimes I write and it's not even on the screen, right? So that's the number one thing. Once you get people to opt in, and we're going to talk about this in detail, but I just want to give you like the bird's eye view. Freebie or lead magnet, you've got your nurture content. So this could be like, this should be, and I talk about this all the time, your one social media platform plus your email list or blog or podcast. So one of those three plus one social media platform. So whatever that might be, nurture content, and then you can also interchange this with like a low ticket sale. So this is how mine works right now. I do both. Um, Sometimes this is also called a tripwire. No, this is also called a tripwire. That's the jargony term. I hate that. So this is number two, nurture content. Um, and then from there, people are like, whoa, I got a taste of what this is all about. I need that main offer, right? That main program, the high ticket offer. So that's number three. So when you have this system like automated, it is so easy to have your pipeline full of people. Now, how do we automate this? My God, this is so annoying. I don't know why my phone keeps going off. Disconnect. Okay. So weird. Let me just stop sharing my iPad real quick. I might share it again later, but I just feel like I'm a visual learner and I like having that little chart. So that's kind of why I do that. So yeah. Um, the absolute foundation of everything is knowing who you're talking to, though. And I talk about this so much. You need to identify your target market, and that's like beyond demographics. You need to go in depth. What are their pain points? What's keeping them up on at night? I talk about this all the time, so I'm not gonna like go too much into detail. But obviously, you don't want to create content, um, or even create a lead magnet. Can you imagine creating? Honestly, can you imagine creating a lead magnet or a freebie that doesn't resonate with your ideal people? It has happened to me. It has happened to me. I created a lead magnet that literally nobody cared about that I was trying, and it was attracting all these wrong people. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that in a second, but you have to know who you're talking to with your lead magnet, with your content, with your nurture content, and then obviously with your main offer. So you likely already have an offer if you're in this space. Who is your offer for? Who exactly is your offer for? It obviously solves one specific problem, right? And so you want to make sure that your content and everything around that, like it revolves around that, right? So your lead magnet and your freebie revolves around that, right? So I'm talking about like super detailed, in-depth psychographics, what keeps them up at night, what are their pain points, you know, their values, their fears, their aspirations, what are their bigger, like the biggest problems that they're dealing with, and how are you going to help them? How can your services, your offer actually solve their problems, right? Give them a name. I talk about this all the time, like literally just actually pretend you're talking to a person that exists in real life. And like give your ideal client a name. Anyway, now, the next thing also is to do some competitor analysis, and this is more for you for getting inspiration and not for copying. Not for copying. I will say my freebie was a huge I got inspired by someone that I follow on Instagram, and I literally, it was just inspiration. It was inspiration. I did not steal it at all whatsoever. And so I was like, wow, I want to create a spreadsheet. That's literally all that came from that. So once you know who your ideal client is and your competitors and what they're doing and what's working well for them and what's not working, I do competitor analysis all the time. Like it just never stops. And see how they're positioning themselves and market and marketing themselves to your shared audience, because obviously you have the same ideal audience, right? So that you can figure out how you can do similar things, bringing your unique twist in it, right? At the end of the day, like you need to be you, authentic, right? So once you super know who your ideal audience is, your ideal client, you can reverse engineer this strategy to you're marketing to the specific individual, right? So in other words, your messaging, your content and offers and everything should speak directly to them, and therefore like your system is going to be foolproof, right? And so now we're going to talk about like the actual building. Once you have that defined, building your sales funnel, this system to land clients on repeat, and it all starts with content. Content is king, right? Well, like I said, the first thing is actually your freebie, but everything revolves around content. You need to actually like share your freebie. But anyway, let's talk about freebies real quick. Once you have clarity on your ideal client, you've done your competitor analysis, you're ready to start filling that pipeline with high quality leads, people that are actually interested in working with you eventually, right? And one of the most effective ways to do that, obviously, is content marketing. Content is literally Yeah. So by putting out valuable, educational, and entertaining also content, you're that's speaking directly to people's pain points and interests, and really speaking to them. You're going to start to build immense trust and authority, which is really important. More importantly though, you're going to be deliberately attracting your ideal clients right into your world and warming them up to have a conversation, right? It's literally 24/7 lead generation. So here's the thing: if you don't post, you don't make sales. You post, people comment, people engage. That right there is a system to land clients on repeat. If you have a content system, you have a system to land clients on repeat. All right. So let's talk about yeah, creating a content schedule. I talk about this all the time, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but post regularly. That's all I'm going to say about this. Post as regularly as you can, as feasible for you. Whatever that looks like for you. It could be once a week, it could be twice a week, 3 times a week. Obviously, the more you post, the more sales you're going to get. And this, it's the hard truth. It's hard. It's the hard truth. But at the same time, I don't recommend burning yourself out. Don't be like, I post every day. And then on day 5, you're like, I can't do this. So you want a feasible posting schedule, one that you're actually going to follow, one that you stick to no matter what. You post on the same day of the week, the same time, every single week. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because I talk about that all the time. So, and yeah, pick your one platform, which I talk about all the time too. How do we automate content marketing? Well, freebies, like I said, a hot lead magnet or freebie. I'm talking about something that people really, really want. A freebie is supposed to give people a taste of what it's like to work with you, or a taste of what it's like to get a little, like a low ticket offer, like a tripwire, which we're going to talk about in a second. I'm talking about you need to create a lead magnet that will have people drooling over it. Hi Annie, yay, someone's on Instagram. You're the first person to join. But yeah, a hot lead magnet or freebie will get people to really trust you, right? And so it could be a checklist, an ebook, a spreadsheet. People love spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. And so that's why mine is a spreadsheet. But people also, you might want to do a webinar or a video sales letter, or I lost my train of thought. But yeah, those are the common. And honestly, you don't want it to be like a checklist that you can Google, right? It has to be something that your expertise is put into it and people can actually use it. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Appreciate it. And so whatever the format, needs to deliver an upfront chunk of value in exchange for their email address, right? So that's the whole point. You want to have people give you their email address. This is going to build your email list, where you can nurture them further along with social media. So for the sake of the rest of this live, let's pretend you're picking having an email list, building your email list, okay? Because I always recommend one email list, blog, or podcast. Email list for the sake of the rest of this live, the rest of this training, right? We're going to talk about your spreadsheet's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I worked so hard on it and I'm so glad people like it. Anyway, yeah. So whatever your lead magnet is though, it has to have a few things. First, it has to be very, very specific. Of course. I'm pretty sure I put my phone on do not disturb. Sorry. So weird. So, yeah, so it must target a specific pain point that people are going through, right? Or desire, right? Don't be broad, be very, very specific on what your lead magnet's going to solve, and make sure the title is very direct and not flowery and a roundabout way, right? You want mine is a content idea spreadsheet. And I sometimes it's longer, 30 days of marketing content ideas spreadsheet, which it's so long, but whatever, people, it's very direct. It tells you exactly what you're getting, right? And so It also, like, the title should, like, plainly communicate what they're gonna get, right? So, like, obviously it's a real first impression of well, okay, sorry, go back. It communicates what they're gonna get in a very direct way while also sparking that curiosity, right? So it's like, "Ooh, what's in this spreadsheet?" You know what I mean? Like, that sort of thing. You want them to practically click that opt-in without a second thought. You want them to be like, "Oh my god, I need that." And so, like, that's how often what I get with my spreadsheet. Like, I'm telling you, like, not to toot my own horn, but my spreadsheet's pretty cool. You want something that's going to get people like, "Wow, I really, really need that." So, like, put as much time. I don't want you to waste hours and hours and hours and hours on a freebie if you don't already have one. But, like, put time and effort into it because it's your first touch point with your potential client, right? And so, next, you're going to map out a sales funnel to nurture. So, like I said, once people give you their email in exchange for your freebie, you're going to want to take them through this like little nurture sequence. And this is something that I actually have an example of in content domination, which I'm going to talk about a little later. But, like, anyway, you want to have like an automated sequence that could further build that relationship and trust. I'm going to talk about that in the nurturing section of this training in a little bit, in like a few minutes. But from there, when like they opt into your lead magnet, so this is what I do. This is my exact system for having my pipeline full and getting people to buy either my low ticket or my higher ticket, or need my agency services, whatever it might be. It's spreadsheet. When they opt into the spreadsheet, the thank you page is actually a low ticket item, which is content domination now. And so it's $97, and that's called a tripwire. And so a lot of people buy from there directly. So because I'm trying to grow my Facebook group, I don't necessarily send them to an opt-in page anymore. I send them to my Facebook group to get it, and then I have group funnel them in. Hi, Nicole. So happy to have you here. And so yeah, yeah. Does this all make sense? I know it's confusing, but like, freebie, low ticket item. If you don't have one, it's totally okay. Skip over that. We're gonna go into the nurturing part of this live and this training in a second. But basically, a low ticket offer like a tripwire gets them to become like a entry level buyer. So it's like the first taste of what they can get to like working with you like later on, right? And so ultimately, you after the tripwire, you would continue nurturing them and continue like pitching your services, and they get to know you, know like trust, all that stuff. So lead magnets are incredibly powerful in this process. It's very important that you have a lead magnet, a high converting one that's very, very that irresistible that people need. And so, yeah. Now we're going to move on to nurturing. Now that we've got leads flowing through your funnel, starting to come into your funnel, right? You want them to get a real feel for you as a person, and that's going to be through nurturing and nurture content through your content on social media and through email. For the sake of this video, we're talking about email through an email welcome sequence, right? I do actually have a sample email welcome sequence in content domination as a bonus, which I'm going to talk about later on, but I just wanted to plug that real quick. And so the key here is systematically guiding your leads, your prospects through the courtship process, right? Building that know, like, trust factor, getting to know you. And so how do we put this on autopilot? Like I said, an email sequence and your content. Now that you have your content set up, you're posting regularly, email is key, right? So they opt into your funnel, right? They opt into you to get your freebie, then they get a series of emails. So you should be taking through a series of emails called a welcome sequence, right? And you want to pre-write this series of emails, send them out every 2 to 3 days, right? So they should get to know you. You want to give them sneak peeks of your services, give them testimonials, success stories, all that stuff. And so I'd say every 3 to 5 days in this welcome series. And then once they're done with that, it should be like, I don't know, 5 to 10 emails. I think mine is like 10 emails right now. So, I mean, it's up to you. However much it takes, however long it takes for you to get your point across, right? Either way, it's It's important that they get to know you, get to know what services you offer, and all that stuff. Lost my train of thought. Okay. And then once they're done, they get segmented into getting your weekly emails, which you should also be doing as part of your marketing strategy, as part of the system that we're setting up here. You want email marketing to be part of it. So, like I said, for the sake of this training, but you could also do blogging or podcasting. Anyway, um, content marketing, email marketing, super important. It's the magical part is once you design and systematize all of this, um, it's self-operating. So it literally just does it for you. It's like you get people to opt in. They get nurtured through this email sequence. They might buy your low ticket item right away, or they might buy it throughout the nurture sequence. They're like, wow, I love this. I need something more from her. That sort of thing. And so that's the power of systems. And so all of this comes down to content, creating content around your freebie. So important. And like content domination goes over all this in great detail, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Get people really wanting your freebie so they get to know you really well through that and through your nurture content, right? We've covered so much. I know it can get complicated. So opt into freebie. And some of you might be like, I already knew this. Like, this is nothing revolutionary, but this is my system. My system right now is freebie. They opt in. The thank you page is content domination, $97. Some people buy it, some people don't. But either way, if they don't opt in through the opt-in page because they're in my Facebook group, then they go through my nurture sequence, my welcome sequence, and all that stuff. And they get to know me. And I have a lot of, I tell them a little bit about myself, about my business. And then I tell them about, my offers and content domination through there. Some people buy through there. Some people buy through my content. A lot of people buy through my content, like my social media content. And so it's so important to have this sort of system going. It's like the riches are really in these repeatable systems and processes that you build. Once you have this built out, it's literally going to go on autopilot. You'll have leads flowing in, and all it takes is you to convert them, right? So now let's talk about content domination really quick. Content domination is learning how often do you share personal things during the email sequence? Thank you for your question. I try to share a story of some sort in every single email, whether it's my story or a client like testimonial, like a client win. I talk about my client Lindsay a lot in my email sequence where she like refused to post reels, and I like forced her to post because her niche is so tricky. She's an eating disorder coach, and so I had her post a reel and it went viral. She got 500,000 views, and tons of people actually signed up for her high ticket program to help them with eating disorders and stuff. And it was really cool. It was really cool that happened, because it was like she was so resistant. She's like, I don't know if people are going to resonate with this. It's really hard. It's a touchy subject. Anyway, so I talk about that in my welcome sequence. I talk about her a few times throughout the emails. I talk about myself. I talk about how I literally tell you my origin story. And then throughout I'll sprinkle in why I got started, sprinkle in my actual services, the agency services, my done for you services, and then also my content domination I talk about a lot. I used to talk about my planners when I sold them individually, which I still kind of do, but I'm not promoting them as much because they're included in content domination. And yeah, that's kind of what I do in my email sequence. And so yeah, but I have a whole sample email sequence in content domination. You get that as a bonus. So what's included in content domination? Okay. There we are. Nope, not what I wanted. So sorry. So we've got content domination. It's taking you through this process in even more detail, how to land 10 plus clients per month using your content. And so it's $97. You get 7 modules, hours of video trainings, and I'm constantly updating them. Today I'm filming a new little lesson about hashtags because they're kind of important, and people people are just, they don't think they're important. They are. And then you get access to my content planner, which people are obsessed with. And so you get access to that, which on its own is like $47. So, and then a bonus is DM domination sales script. So you don't have to get on sales calls ever again. Trust me, I close pretty much all of my clients now through the DMs. Sometimes I have to get on calls with them for the agency side of things, especially if they're going to be with one of my VAs that are like instead of me. So I have to get on a sales call to like let them like see what they exactly like, what kind of support they need. Anyway, you also get content resources with graphic templates and content ideas. So you get the DM domination sales script. You also get the content resources has the email welcome sequence, like a sample sequence that you can literally take. It's like fill in the blank, and you can take it and put your own spin on it, put your own story in it. And then, yeah, what you're going to learn is how to batch 30 days of content in less than 2 hours, how to simplify your content and show up confidently, which is something I struggled with for a long time. I finally found like the secret to coming and to showing up confidently, even when you're like super shy and introvert like me. What are content pillars and how to use them to stand out to your ideal clients? Because content pillars, a lot of people can feel really boxed in and feel like, oh, I have to follow this like stupid formula and it's boring. But when you infuse you and your authentic story and your unique self with content pillars, that's how you're going to attract your dream clients. And so I also talk about how to build an engaged community of people who buy everything you put out. I my business coach Maria, I buy everything she puts out. I'd never thought I would be that kind of person, but I have had a few people that have basically bought everything I've put out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. It's like one of those things. And I finally figured out how to do that. And so, yeah. You also get intro to graphics and short form video that will make you go viral. So this is more for people that really just don't know how to create graphics for Instagram or how to create reels or TikToks or YouTube shorts. Yeah. And then how to create engaging stories that sell. My stories that sell template is so good. It really gets people, because people often neglect stories. And I'm talking about like Instagram, Facebook stories, like where you get on your stories, not like your story, although your storytelling is very important, but stories is where you're going to sell. Stories is so important. You have to get on stories pretty much every day. And so I have this sort of framework that I lay out for you. It takes you through like, okay, on Monday you should have this sort of content, on Tuesday you should have this sort of content, etc. Because you want this like inspirational content, educational, value driven, as well as like, you want to pitch your offers every single day. And I teach you how to do that in a very like not in your face sort of way. And so, yeah. And then you also get the bonus content that converts masterclass. We've got people who love the course. I finally got some testimonials up on the sales page. And I love this course. Oh, I was in such a hurry to get planning that I missed it. Thank you. I loved your course. It gave me fresh perspectives and inspired me to create content more. And so I'm so excited about that. Okay. Annie says, one of my mentors in the past told me to pick one person and study only them for about 6 months to a year, because studying everyone all the time can be conflicting info and overwhelming. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, definitely agree with that. And that's kind of what I'm channeling right now. Like I study Maria so much. And so and her kind of style and her vibe, although it's kind of hard because I have a different business model, but yeah, like it's something that's so it's hard to get overwhelmed by all the people doing all the things, right? So you basically, what I have found works for me, and I did not follow that advice when I first started, and that's like I started following a bunch of people, buying course after course, strategy after strategy, when really I needed to figure out what worked for me. I kind of piecemeal things from one course and another course and one strategy and another strategy, and that's what works for me. And so that's kind of what I put into content domination. Basically, content domination is my course that will take you through what I take my private one-to-one clients in one session at a self-paced like sort of way. So you can sort of figure out, I literally just wrote an email on this, so good. Awesome. Love that. Love that. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's basically content domination. Now I only study you and Maria, huh? I love that, Annie. You're the best. um, and so yeah, content domination is $97 for a limited time, honestly. One of my mentors has told me that I should raise the price at 297, but I don't want to do that yet. I am adding a lot to it every single day. Like not every single day, every single week I add a new like video. A couple weeks ago I added like 5 new videos. And so it's just something I'm constantly adding to. I'm making it a lot more than what it started off as. So I'm really proud of it. And so the link is in the comments if you're on Facebook. And yeah, I mean, if you have any questions around this little system to land clients on repeat, remember lead magnet, nurture content, or tripwire if you have a low ticket offer. And then you get people, you nurture people, nurture content, and then you get them to buy your higher ticket program. And so, yeah, if you have any questions regarding this, I'm happy to answer. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.